Binge the full week of The Ray Taylor Show ad-free over at inspireddisorder.com/plus.
This is The Ray Taylor Show.
Rayz Dayz, episode 100 of the show where I recap my week. This is the show that started out when the pandemic, during the first lockdown. It's been almost 2 years. Obviously, I took a month off during December. So it doesn't line up specifically with the exact amount of months, but 100 episodes, almost 2 years going. Basically being able to do a show that is free form. I can just talk about whatever I want. Generally, I recap my week, but I can talk about whatever I want, as opposed to the rest of the episodes that I do, movie reviews, talking about current events, ranking movies, different stuff, recapping episode by episode of a TV series. Those are far more cut and dry as far as what I'm going to talk about. But even those still offer different challenges, like how I'm going to review or talk about a thing. Definitely questions I ask myself a lot. But having a show like this where I can just come on and just talk about whatever I want. I have little hair there in my eyeball. It's kind of, the essence of what podcasting was when I first started. Back like 2008, 14 years ago. I was 20. I was in my late 20s, and now I'm in my early 40s. That is a crazy statement. The early days where you just kind of talked about whatever you wanted to, and that's kind of what you could do with podcasts. And now podcasting is a very different landscape, where you can do a lot of different things. And I've done that as well with my show, giving different types of shows. It's been a lot of fun, but having at least one episode where I can just kind of talk about whatever has been fun. So 100 episodes. I'm happy that it's I'm sad in some ways that it's a podcast that started because of the pandemic, but also if it weren't for the pandemic, not only would this show not exist, at least this Rayz Dayz show, but life would be far more difficult for me, strangely, if the pandemic didn't happen. It offered me a lot of opportunities to really grow my art and my podcast in a way to where, hopefully this will be the thing that I can, survive. I mean, technically, if I were to add up the potential money that I can make if my podcast gains more of an audience, if my art gains more of an audience, like I'm running $1 million business, which on some level gives me fuel to like, okay, maybe this will work out. But that's like if I'm 100% successful, like if I sold out of everything, if I got like decent sponsorship for the show, if all my NFTs sell, like then yeah, if everything I do is successful, then yes, it'd be damn, like I did the numbers and it'd be damn close to $1 million, if not on the button. So at least that gives me some like, okay, well, at least I'm not doing this for nothing. And I'm growing. I'm learning. I'm growing. I'm improving. And that is my number one focus, is to constantly be getting better. But transitioning and learning how to monetize and do better. I know if I did live shows with my art, for sure. But it's like I'm trying to do something very specific. Trying to work from home. I'm trying to sell directly. I'm trying to do those things. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's been a fun ride. It's been an interesting ride. I never would have guessed. 2 years ago, I mean, I started this in March of, 2020, I guess, is when everything shut down. So we're still, I mean, it's March right now. So it's around the time 2 years ago when everything shut down. I never would have guessed, would ever have been able to predict what I'm doing right now, where the show is at right now, what I like, all of the different people and podcasts that I used to listen to, and people that I used to follow online, and people that I used to be a fan of, how my opinions on so much has changed in the past 2 years. Like, not only personally, but then also globally, like, and with the people that live in the United States. It's been a huge clarification to everything around me. And I never would have been able to predict an ounce of it. So it's crazy. It's just one of those things where you constantly have to remind yourself that you don't know what's going to happen next. You just have to try your best and, hope for the best, and just focus on getting better and doing what you do better, being a better you, being a better employee to yourself, but also just being a better person for yourself. Because that's like the only thing you really have any control over. Like, everything else is an illusion. You don't have control over anything. World War III, the reality as we know it could end before I even get a chance to post this episode. And, you just got to keep chugging along and try and make good decisions. Try and be a good person. The Many Faces is an ongoing abstract ink portrait series that I started many years ago. I release a new face every day, but go to inspireddisorder.com to check them out. So many available. But as a listener to The Ray Taylor Show, you can save 10% when you use coupon code INSPIRED when you check out. So go to inspireddisorder.com/TMF. That stands for The Many Faces. Go check them out, browse the entire collection, and when you decide on a piece, or maybe multiple pieces, make sure you use coupon code INSPIRED when you check out, and you'll save 10%. As a big thank you for checking out my work, for collecting my work, and for listening to The Ray Taylor Show. And with that said, let's get back to the show. Anyway. So I'm happy. It's been 100 episodes. As those that have been watching and paying attention may notice that my left wrist is bare. It is naked. It is not ladies, but it is no longer decorated with a Fitbit, and that is because I returned it. I mean, technically it's boxed up, waiting to be sent back. I gotta take a trip to Kohl's to return it. But yeah, just a combination of things. If you watched last week's episode, I spoke about just the kind of claustrophobic nature and the irritation of just having something tight around my wrist. How annoying that was. That really became more of an issue. And then also the things that it did for me, I didn't really need. And like there was only a few things that it did that I got value out of. And a lot of those things I can already do with just my phone. So for all those reasons, I decided not to do it. I looked at like maybe getting an Apple Watch because just a cheap Apple Watch would do a lot of the same stuff. And it's like, man, I'm not even there yet. I just need to, like, maybe if I'm working out a lot, but I just need to get in the rhythm of working out and things. Like, I have nothing to monitor. like as far as my sleep, like I know how good or bad I slept by how I feel when I wake up. So I don't necessarily need to see the numbers on that. They were interesting to see, but I don't need to see them. And all the other aspects of it, I am very inactive. I'm a very inactive person. So just reminding myself to get up and move around and swing a kettlebell now and then is something I don't need a piece of technology to do for me. So once I get into and I build up to the fact where I'm being more active and things, if I ever get there, then maybe I'll reconsider. But right now, it just didn't make any sense. So I returned it. Oopsie. Whatever. At least, like, I found out right away. It wasn't something where it's like, I regret. Like, it's not like I took it off and now it's just like sitting around. Like, I'll be able to get refunded. Also ended up going out for the first time since the pandemic to go eat. Was a very horrible meal. Went to Red Robin with my roommate's mom and my roommate's kid. Roommate went on vacation. Thankfully, I had zero responsibilities because her mom came to take care of the kid and all the animals. But invited me to go to have dinner. Any other day would have said no. But it's like, I haven't been to Red Robin. I've been craving a nice burger. They have good fries. I like their seasoned fries. So it's like, yeah, I'll go. I'll spend like an hour, have small talk, play trivia games on their little tablet with the kid. It's like, okay, I'll do that. It would be a nice break from, it was on Friday when I was editing all the artwork that I did. I was editing the videos. So it was a nice little break. Horrible meal. Horrible meal. Just the fries sucked. Everything was like undercooked. It was also packed in that restaurant too. So it was like, I don't know. I wore my mask. The kid is good about wearing his mask, and I was like, I'll wear my mask. I don't give a shit. But then when you're at the table, you take the mask off, and it's like you're still surrounded by people inside an enclosed area. So we'll see. We'll see if I end up getting sick. Hopefully not. I mean, there's already been a COVID scare with the kid getting sick months ago, and just everything got locked down around here. So nobody got sick, thankfully. But yeah, we'll see. In retrospect, wasn't a great decision, but whatever. It was free food. It was, it only further like reminded me that like going out is so overrated. Like it was dumb. It was dumb. It wasn't even good food. Like if it had been good food, then maybe like, okay, maybe I'll start going out here and there. But I did the opposite. I was like, I'd rather just make a burger at home and just not have to deal with anything. But yeah, not a good experience. Join Inspired Disorder Plus today. Head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus to join. Membership includes members-only discounts and deals. You get access to the Ray Taylor Show completely ad-free, as well as bonus episodes. You get access to the complete live painting archive. You also get access to every single podcast ever produced by Inspired Disorder, hosted by Ray Taylor. You get access to Ray Taylor's personal blog, as well as the opportunity to ask me any questions. So if you want to start a podcast, you're into art, ask me anything. And so many more things are being added every day to Inspired Disorder Plus. So sign up today, become a member, head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus and become an Inspired Disorder Plus member today. It was also super windy this week, like insanely windy. That's one thing, out here in the Coachella Valley, aside from the heat during the summer, the wind that happens is ridiculous. And there's a palm tree right on the edge of the property there that like just shed all kinds of palm fronds. Like just, first off, one night it was like, I thought like just I was going to wake up in Oz. Like the garage that I live in was about to take flight. It sounded like it was so windy. It was so windy, so loud. Then like the next day after, it was windy during the day, and like midday there's this like huge crash. Like what? Like something fell over loud. and turned out to be just a giant clump of palm fronds fell on the roof and just like are scattered everywhere. Like everywhere around this house is just like covered in palm fronds that blew down from like just this one palm tree. So that was kind of crazy. Not really, but it was, the weather. It's one of the few things dramatic around here is when it gets windy or when the heat comes in December, during the summer, which I am definitely not looking forward to. I would much rather have the wind than the heat. But yeah, so that's, pretty easy week. I got all of my stuff done. Inventoried a few more of the paintings, didn't really get started on any new big projects that I can think of, but a good week nonetheless. Good week, kind of a weird week because, like I said, my friend she went to like New Orleans, just got back today, so don't know how the trip went yet, and so it was kind of a different vibe here. And, because the kid is a lot more behaved when it's not his mom taking care of him. So, different vibe. But yeah, and I didn't have to do anything. So, it was kind of like a vacation for me, too. Because I didn't have to, like, take him to school or pick him up or anything like that. Didn't have to watch him. Which is always a thumbs up. Like, I'm so thankful that I have no kids. I am so thankful. I feel bad for parents. I don't understand why they do it. It's just we don't need more people, and like kids suck. This kid's all right, but he still sucks sometimes. He's still a jerk. Like kids can be jerks, man. Like at least grown-ups know they're being jerks. Like they can willfully, but like a lot of kids, they don't even know they're being jerks. But whatever. That's it. That's my week. I hope everybody's been having a great week. Happy have a drink on me. Still haven't had any alcohol. But I still don't have my driver's license. So, I have one. It's just expired. But I'm going to need to get it because my weed's about to run out and I need an ID to buy weed. So, have a drink on me for me to celebrate 100 episodes of what used to be Rona Dayz. It's now Rayz Dayz. And if you don't drink, then, smoke a bowl or smoke a joint. And if you don't do either of those, meditate. Meditate for me. Do some, deep breathing. And just be thankful for your life. Because it could be over before you know it. Life is a very crazy thing, and nobody's psychic. Nobody could have predicted. Nobody could if people could predict shit, like even people that say they can predict stuff, businesses, insurance companies, nobody knows. Nobody knows. They have guesses, but nobody knows. Everything's chaos. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on YouTube and everywhere our podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. And follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.